Ever wonder if there's some kind of hidden pattern that connects all the most inspiring leaders and successful companies in the world? Well, today, we're breaking down the Golden Circle, a really powerful idea that might just completely change how you think about leadership, influence, and even your own motivation.
I mean, really think about it for a second. Why are some brands able to command this almost cult-like loyalty while their competitors just fade away? How do they keep innovating and inspiring people year after year? It's not luck, not at all. There's a pattern to it, and the answer is surprisingly simple.
And this quote right here, this is the core idea from author Simon Sinek that kicks the whole thing off. This one sentence just cuts through all the noise. It's saying that our biggest decisions, the things we're truly loyal to, they aren't based on logic or features or price. They're based on belief. They're based on a gut feeling.
So let's really dig into this idea. We're talking about a framework that helps explain the massive influence of people like Steve Jobs and Martin Luther King Jr. They all thought, acted, and communicated in a very specific way. And, as you're about to see, it's pretty much the complete opposite of how most of us do things.
This whole concept really blew up back in 2009 with a now famous TED Talk. Sinek laid out this incredibly simple model which he discovered just by observing these amazing leaders. He found a naturally occurring pattern, a way of thinking that gives certain people this uncanny ability to truly inspire everyone around them.
Okay, so at the very heart of his theory is this simple visual, the Golden Circle. And really, it's like a map that perfectly shows the difference between companies that just sell stuff and leaders who truly inspire us.
Okay, so picture three circles, one inside the other. On the very outside, you've got the what. This is the easy one. Pretty much every company on the planet knows what they do, the products they sell, the services they offer. Simple. Moving in one layer, you've got the how. Some companies know how they do it, their secret sauce or their unique process. But right there in the middle, at the very core, is the why. And this is where most people and businesses totally stumble. Very, very few can clearly explain why they do what they do. And just to be clear, why is not about making a profit. That's a result. The why is your purpose, your cause, your core belief. It's the real reason you get out of bed in the morning.
And here's the kicker. Most of us and most companies communicate from the outside in. We start with the clearest thing, our what, and then maybe we talk about our how. But the most inspiring leaders on the planet, they do the exact opposite. They think, they act, and they communicate from the inside out. They always start with why.
Now, making that shift from the outside in to the inside out, it creates a massive difference in how people respond to you. It's the fundamental difference between getting a one-time transaction and earning genuine, lasting loyalty, the kind that makes people stick with you through thick and thin.
So on one side, you've got manipulation. Just think about most of the marketing you see every day. Price drops, special promotions, using fear or peer pressure to get you to buy something. And hey, let's be real, manipulation works. It can absolutely drive a sale, but it doesn't build loyalty. On the other side, though, you have inspiration. When you communicate your why, you're not just selling a product anymore. You're inviting people to join your cause. You attract the people who believe what you believe, and that is the bedrock of true, unshakable loyalty. Apple is, of course, the classic example. If Apple were like everyone else, their marketing would sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed and easy to use. Want to buy one? Meh. But instead, they start with why. Their real message is, in everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed and user-friendly. And we just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? See the difference? It's a completely different feeling, a totally different appeal.
Let's look at how this plays out with a different real-world comparison. On one hand, you had GE under Jack Welch. His world revolved around shareholder value, the numbers. His why was basically the stock price, which led to things like firing the bottom 10% of employees every single year. But then you have Costco under Jim Senero. His why was his people. He paid him almost double the industry average and fought back against Wall Street when they demanded he cut salaries.
So which why actually paid off in the long run? Well, the numbers tell a pretty incredible story. If you invested in the S&P 500 or in GE back in 1986, you'd have seen around a 600% return. Not bad, right? But now, look at Costco. The company that focused on its people delivered a mind-blowing 1,200% return. Double. Their people-first why actually created way more value for everyone in the end.
So why does starting with why work so well? Is it just some clever business tactic? Turns out, no. It goes way deeper than that. It's actually baked right into our biology as human beings. This whole approach taps directly into our ancient primal need to belong to a tribe. Sinek tells this really powerful story about a CEO named Bob Chapman who was at a wedding, and as he watched a father give his daughter away, it hit him like a ton of bricks. Every single employee in his company was someone's son or someone's daughter. He realized the responsibility of a leader isn't about managing spreadsheets, it's about taking care of the people entrusted to you.
And that idea leads right into this concept he calls the circle of safety. See, the world outside is full of dangers. The economy, your competition, new tech that could disrupt everything. A leader's job is to create a culture inside the company where people feel safe from all that, and safe from each other. When that safety is there, trust and cooperation just happen naturally. People are willing to take risks and innovate because they know their team has their back. And that's how you turn a job into a calling.
Okay, but let's be intellectually honest here. Like any really big idea, start with why isn't perfect. It's got its critics, and to really understand it, we've got to look at the limitations and the counter-arguments too. So we have to ask the tough question. Is it really that simple? Is having a powerful why some kind of magic formula, a silver bullet for success? Or is there more to the story? One of the main critiques flips the whole model on its head. It suggests that maybe you shouldn't start with why, you should start with who. See, Sinek argues that if you have a clear purpose, you'll naturally attract the right people. But the critique says that's backwards. It says you should first figure out who your customers are, get to know them deeply, and then build a purpose and a product just for them. So instead of building a cause and hoping people show up, you find the people and build the cause they're already looking for. It's a really interesting shift in perspective.
And the critiques don't stop there. Some argue the model is just a bit too simple, that it ignores huge factors like company culture, the economy, or politics. Others point out that the terms why, how, what can be kind of vague and open to interpretation. And while that biology connection is compelling, some say it's a bit of a stretch. So the big takeaway here is that the golden circle is an incredibly powerful tool, for sure, but it's not a magic formula that solves everything.
Okay, so we've heard the core idea, and we've acknowledged the critiques. So what now? How do we take this from theory and actually put it into practice? How do we find our own why? All right, so how do you do it? Well, first things first, you have to discover it, and that's key. You don't invent a why, you uncover it. It's the core belief that's already driving you. Next, you have to communicate it, over and over with absolute clarity. Then comes maybe the most critical part, alignment. Everything you do, your how and your what, has to be living proof of your why. If it's not, people see right through it. And finally, you have to reinforce it by building a culture where everyone lives and breathes that purpose every single day.
And you know, that really gets to the heart of the challenge. Finding your why is just the starting line. The real test, the hard part, is holding onto that clarity as you grow. Sinek talks about the split, that moment when an organization gets so big that its original purpose starts to get fuzzy. Staying true to your why over the long haul, that's the whole game.
In the end, the golden circle is so much more than a business tool, right? It's really a lens we can use to look at our own work, our own projects, our own lives. It pushes all of us to ask a really simple but incredibly profound question. Whether you're leading a company, part of a team, or just figuring out your own path, it all comes back to this one thing. So I'll leave you with this. What's your why?